Toy Story 5 seemed like a sick joke when it was first announced. Oh, let's just undo the definitive ending of the previous installment, which already undid the ending of the previous installment that everyone called the best trilogy ending in cinematic history. We're the Disney Corporation! Money, money, money! But as the trailer started coming out and we started to get an idea of what the premise was, something occurred to me. Wait. They've never made a bad Toy Story movie, and I don't know why they would start now. 4 seemed like the worst idea in the world, and it ended up being a funny, stunningly well-directed, powerful meditation on finding new meaning in life. It's not perfect, looking at you, inner voice, but man, is it a more than worthy installment in the series. And yeah, as expected, Toy Story 5 is 2. I had a great time with this one. It's a little more disjointed than previous installments, but by the end, every plotline converges and feels worthwhile. There's a bunch of Buzz Lightyears who get shipwrecked and have to make their way back to Star Command, and I liked this subplot because the Buzzes reminded me of Pikmin. Look at them go! This plotline doesn't seem related to anything else going on, but it has a sweet little moment where one of the Buzzes finds their true purpose. It's like a microcosm of what the whole series is about, and it doesn't feel redundant. That's the true miracle of Toy Story 5. It actually feels different. We follow up on Jesse's backstory, but it never feels like we're milking it for nostalgia. Even if, objectively speaking, that's kind of what's going on when you take a step back. But it's just handled in such an authentic way that it doesn't feel like cynical nostalgia pandering. Jesse's pain and remorse over her past feels real in this one. If you love Jessie, you're really gonna like this. She's basically the main character, which is a great angle to separate it from previous installments. Woody is back. Okay, I guess he had a walkie-talkie to keep in touch with Jessie. When did that happen? Whatever, I can buy it, I guess. He's fun in this, and I thought they did a great job with his dynamic with Buzz. They bicker and step on each other's toes in a way only old friends can. Mostly though, Woody takes a bit of a backseat, and that's completely fine. 4 was the Woody movie. His arc is complete, and he's just here because, I don't know, we gotta foreshadow Deltarune Chapter 5 somehow. And Buzz is thankfully written so much better than he was in 4. He's actually smart again, and his relationship with Jessie is finally given a bit more focus. It's crazy that this whole Buzz-Jessie ship is only a thing because they wanted to do a boner joke in Toy Story 2. Hilarious. If you weren't a fan of how Toy Story 4 shafted most of the regular side characters, unfortunately this movie does the same thing. They literally put them all in the garage at one point, and Woody and Buzz just carry on without them. But, and hear me out on this, I don't really care. I didn't mind it in 4, and I don't mind it here. I got everything I wanted out of the Toy Gang in 2 and 3. I didn't really come to this movie for more epic Mr. Potato Head zingers. Oh, speaking of which, they recast him after the original actor died, and sometimes the new guy sounds spot on, and other times it's the least accurate thing I've ever heard. It's really weird. But yeah, I don't mind the old gang staying on the side, since 4 and 5 got to introduce fun new casts of their own. There's a Conan O'Brien potty training toy in this, and God, he was funny. I think he's the funniest toy. I think he should do stand-up. The Lily Pad character is really well done. She has a similar arc to a previous Toy Story antagonist, but it's done a lot better here. You believe her motivation and completely understand why she's doing the things she does, even if that makes her an antagonist to the toys. Weirdly, this is the first Toy Story movie where I actually cared about Bonnie. They gave her a very relatable conflict of not being able to connect with and form friendships with other kids, and it's actually really upsetting seeing her get made fun of on the net. Honestly, the internet this movie depicts is not safe for children in the slightest. It is insanely easy to send messages to complete strangers and even dox people, and the parents don't seem to be too concerned about that. That's not really a problem with the movie, I just found it really crazy. But overall, I really like the way they depict tech in this, because it is very nuanced. They show the negative bed rotting and getting cyberbullied effects, but they also show how it's a great way to connect with people you never would have met otherwise. They strike a good balance, and it's nice that they don't villainize the tech, since that would be really boring. Jessie has a nice arc of learning to accept and stop being racist to technology. I'm not even exaggerating, that's kind of how it feels in the movie. But she learns her lesson, that's good. Overall, this is just another nice, funny, decently emotional installment in a series I'm actually starting not to mind the continued existence of. Much like how I came out of Inside Out 2 being perfectly happy with the idea of an Inside Out 3 existing, I deadass wouldn't mind Toy Story 6. I think it would actually nicely round out the series to have a full Bonnie trilogy that could stand on its own after the Andy trilogy. It reminds me a lot of Ace Attorney. Yep, I'll take any excuse I can to talk about it. Ace Attorney had the acclaimed, beloved original trilogy that seemed to end on the absolute most perfect note possible. It wrapped up everyone's storylines, it was dramatic, intense, emotional. Bridge to the Turnabout is the Toy Story 3 of Ace Attorney, is what I'm trying to say. You'd think the series would stop here, but then it kept going with a new installment that did some very controversial things to its main protagonist. Apollo Justice is not the best Ace Attorney, nor is Toy Story 4 the best Toy Story. I personally don't mind either of the controversial things these installments did to their protagonists, but these are slightly more unsatisfying ways to conclude a saga than what we already had. But both series kept going, melding a lot of elements from the original trilogy and the recent controversial installments to create a new, worthwhile addition to the series. Toy Story 5 manages to build off of what 4 did without undoing anything, but it also builds off of 2 in a new, powerful way that doesn't feel like a rehash. It's got a nice blend of old and new sensibilities, and I think it's especially smart that it does not end on another big, emotional, this is the last time you're gonna see these characters notes. It doesn't end on a cliffhanger or anything, but it's a lot more chill than the big tug on your heartstrings endings of 3 and 4. Honestly, that alone makes it feel a lot more authentic than it would have otherwise. It's just another great time with these characters, and I wouldn't even mind one last hurrah while the main voice actors are still around. Unless we get Ace Attorney 7, then they gotta make Toy Story 7 to keep the parallels going. Oh yeah, I guess Lightyear is the Investigations 1 of the series. That means if they make Lightyear 2, it's actually gonna be peak. Okay, now I can't wait. Speaking of Lightyear, I thought it was really funny that Buzz makes a reference to the joke that Zurg is his father in this. Cause it's funny. I seem to remember from Andy's favorite movie that made him want a Buzz Lightyear toy that Zurg is a version of Buzz from the future. It's almost like that movie isn't canon and should be erased from existence. I don't think anyone would object. Anyway, I'm gonna give Toy Story 5 an 8 out of 10. Just like Hoppers. Pixar's on a roll this year. I'm not actually sure which one I like better. This one was a little more cohesive and emotional, but Hoppers has way funnier and more entertaining highs. I also need to think a bit about whether I prefer this over 4 or not. It definitely has less flaws, but 4 is really interesting thematically and a stronger character study for Woody than this is for Jessie. Doesn't matter, Uncle Ben. 2 and 3 are still the best. Anyway, if you're looking for an obscure animated recommendation, check out Ongaku Our Sound. This is an anime film made on a shoestring budget that still manages to have really striking sequences visually. And it's got some solid deadpan humor to boot. 3 delinquents decide they want to form a band. That's kinda it. It's simple but immensely entertaining as we see them discover a surprising passion for music and a burning desire to create. It's an incredibly sweet and funny film that's only 71 minutes, pretty light and breezy, and definitely worth your time to check out. Anyway, if you're in the mood for more Pixar stuff, I actually have something you can watch all about Cars. You ever wondered how it would work as a Broadway musical? No, seriously, consider it. I sure have. Which is why I created an exclusive series on Nebula, Make It a Musical. I go through random works of fiction that not many people have probably considered a Broadway musical adaptation being made for, and I try and figure out how that would practically work. I analyze the plot and figure out which moments should have associated musical numbers, as well as determine what adaptational changes should be made to a story in order to bring it to the stage effectively. There's 3 episodes available right now, based on Cars, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Super Mario Sunshine. And you can watch them exclusively on Nebula, an ad-free, independent, creator-owned streaming platform specializing in thoughtful content. You can find a ton of original and engaging videos on the platform from some of your favorite creators, such as Legal Legal, Tierzoo, Patrick Willems, Abigail Thorne, and so many more. Plus, you can even watch my videos early, uncensored, and ad-free on here. It really is the definitive Schaeferless experience. And you can enjoy content from so many other creators on top of that. New Nebula paid subscribers will get guest passes, which you can give to your friends and family so they can try out Nebula for a week. There's no payment info required to redeem one, and no restrictions on what guest pass holders can watch. If you want to join Nebula and watch Make It a Musical, then I've got some good news. With my link, you can get 50% off an annual subscription to Nebula. is just $30 a year, coming down to $2.50 a month at go.nebula.tv/Shafrillis. Either click the link or scan the QR code and have fun enjoying all the original content Nebula has to offer, including my own exclusive series. Hope to see you there.